Hello everyone, I'm Drew, I'm that frog guy, and today I'm coming at you from the reptile room. Sorry I'm not going to do a spin around this time. My editing computer is down for a while, so hopefully I can upload this with my off my phone, so it's going to be limited editing, so bear with me. But we're going to start with the planted 30-gallon tank. You can see there's a lot less inhabitants than there used to be, but there's a lot more plants. And some of them are growing in nicely, the taller ones, but the grass, it's only really growing in one spot. All the rest of it seemed to die back. I'm going to keep letting it do its thing and see how much will actually survive in this tank. It's got 4 zebra danios and then 1 hiding underneath that tiny stick, bristlenose pleco. That's this tank, but I think the pleco is digging up all this area up in the front. I could be wrong. But we're going to jump over to the next tank, which is the saltwater tanks, and my mangroves are not doing the greatest, but it's a test here. They're doing better than the other tank, but I'll show you guys. This is a 10-gallon saltwater aquarium with 1 fish. His name is Bandit. He's very, 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 very mean to everything, even me. It's got a nice big old Duncan coral there. Oh, there's a emerald crab hanging out there, and then there's a porcelain other crab, and then there's a hermit crab down here. There's a lot of crabs in here. I got some mushroom corals, got an anemone there, rock flower, and then I got another rock flower over there, then some zoas, and that's about it. There's a little torch coral and my first attempted xenia back there. So we'll see how well this coral does, or this tank does in the long run. Adding the, what are they called? Mangroves has reduced the algae a tiny bit, noticeably in the less on the glass every day, which is pretty good. Or it could be these little isopod guys running around on the glass. But we'll jump down to the next tank, which I finally cleaned up a little bit so you guys could see into it. It's my shrimp tank. That was all food for, what's his name? The old frogfish that I never actually named, which I'm going to throw some food in here for these guys quick so you can see them. They're not really moving around much. And I just kind of messed with their tank yesterday, so they're not very happy with me. But they're all over in here. But if I drop some food in, maybe I can get that. Come on, feed. Big fingers do not work. Oh, there he is. She is. And I'm just using some Zoo Med shrimp food for my freshwater. They seem to don't mind it. I do feed them saltwater fish food and all sorts of other things. The leftovers from the anemones, or they pretty much eat every last thing that I put in here, and leaves nothing left. There is a little problem with cyno in here. I pulled off a lot yesterday, but there's still plenty left. But now you can see them all coming out. But enough about the little shrimp tank. We'll jump over to one of these frog tanks. I am the frog guy. Here we have all these fire belly toads. You got an interesting pattern, little guy. There's plenty of them. There's a lot of snails in the water. Just go slow panning. My glass is a little more clean. It'd be nice. Then we'll go over to this one salamander tank. For these of you guys who have been watching my other videos, you know that there's only one thing left in here besides some shrimp, is a salamander, but they are just, every time I try to film these guys, they're hidden. But as soon as I like come in here on a normal day, they're floating around, swimming around. But we'll jump down to the next tank here, shrimp tank. I should say moss tank, because it's all that's in here right now, just moss and shrimp. Ooh, look at them all. Yeah, I got plenty of shrimp. They will be moving down to that tank there once it finishes its cycle. And here is Floki. Say hello to the camera, Floki. Floki is a beta. Come on. He is a half moon dragon scale beta, if I remember correctly. Oh, there he is. He knows I'm talking about him. He doesn't like the camera. Doesn't like the camera at all. He's doing good. He's about a year and a half now. Or maybe 2 years? Are you 2 years? I think he's about 2 years. He's living in like a 5-gallon planted tank with a filter. And there's 2 autosynchronous catfish in there and a bunch of shrimp and snails. The autos are still doing great. I see them once in a while. But we'll jump down to this tank, which has nothing in it. And then down to this tank, which is another shrimp and I guess snail tank, with 2, what are they called in here? Platies? No. Where are they hiding? I just fed them this morning. There they are. Plump, fat things. Oh, they're so fat. I should stop feeding them so much. I forgot what they're called. They're like platies, but mollies. There we go. Here is my bug rack. Bugs. And then down here is my snail. More snails. I got a bunch of apple snails I caught, well, Japanese trapdoor snails, which I caught out of a local pond here. They're invasive in my area, but if I ever get a, whatchamacallit, a caiman lizard like I want, then we'll definitely have some food for it. Then I just got some stuff going on there, which will be another video eventually, but I reset up this tank for the salamander after the rest of the frogs have morphed out. And for those wondering, it looks like he has 5 toes in the back, so he's probably a blue spotted salamander. But this is the best video I've gotten of them yet, so they're really kind of cool. They just kind of don't do much. So I wonder how long it'll take them to morph out. But he just swims around in this big giant cliff tank. Down here is Gitrog number 2, or I'll just call him Gitrog, or Mr. Pickles, or Mrs. Pickles. I don't know yet. He/she is doing great. She's putting on, he/she is putting on a lot of weight. A little while longer I'll be able to find out if it's a male or female as soon as it gets yellow, but I'm guessing maybe it's a female. But we'll jump up to Ziggy's tank now that Ziggy is not here anymore. Should probably pull those tags off, but this is the first planted vivarium I did. I did some reworking. I left the light up in the back so I can get some more light back in the corner. It's growing in great. I don't know what I'm going to put in here now since I kind of designed it for Pac-Man Frog. And I don't think I want to put him in there because he really likes water and there's not a lot of water puddles in there. But we'll jump over to the next rack is Casey. Oh wow, rare treat everybody. Look at him. You can see his little broken tail there. I got him that way when I first had him, and he's, let's see, 2017. He's 17 years, or 2018. He's gonna be 18 this year. Oh man, he's gone. At least we got some video of him. In here, I got some tree frogs, spring peepers to be precise, that are some of the tadpoles that I got, but they don't. They were hiding. They're out earlier. I wonder where he went. They're nocturnal, so it's so hard to get them filmed. And if I had some editing software right now, I'd slip them in, but because I got some footage. But it's like Jurassic Park, just looking in and not seeing anything. Down to Thaddeus's tank. He is a. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Ziggy or Casey is an East African spiny-tailed lizard. Gitrog, Mr. Pickles, whatever you want to call him, is a African bullfrog. These are spring peepers. I don't know their other name. And then this is Thaddeus. He is a Dendrobates tinctoris. He's the powder blue variety, and he's just kind of hanging back there. He's like a dog. Every morning he sits and waits for food. He begs me for food because he knows where it comes in. He just waits right here. Got plenty of pictures of him standing there. We'll jump over to these guys, which we have one kind of hanging out. I believe that's Molder. He's less scared of me, but she was just up there. But they are imitator dart frogs. Oh, that tank is really bright behind me. He's just chilling there. Got a clear spot. He's kind of my icon for my channel. He's pretty cool. There's a tag if you want to read more about him. You can pause the video, but I got two of them in here. I don't know if they're going to actually breed. I might have to get a third one to see if I can get some calling. But then again, who knows if they've laid eggs in here or not. We'll keep jumping down the line here. These are wood frogs in these two grow-up containers. You can watch the whole set of videos on my channel to see how they've got to this point. Ooh, toad. In here we have some probably common toads, but we have everything up here, so there's that. One of these toads that we got in here had a gimped arm, so I've took him in to try to bring him back to health, which he's doing great. And we took in his buddy. I can't tell. You're the buddy. So the other one was out this morning eating, and I don't know where he's hiding now, but maybe underneath the leaf. But it's just a little planted tank for toads, local fauna. I don't know how long everything will last, but they're pretty cute. They're pretty cute when they're tiny. They're also pretty cute when they get bigger. And here I moved the other salamander, the third one, into here. I want to give him a little more room, but I haven't seen him yet. But this is a bigger tank, and there's a lot more hiding place. I do have some cherry shrimp in here to, I don't know, be a food source if they get big enough. I don't know how big these guys are gonna get. But we'll jump over to the third, or the last of the frog tanks. And you could see one of them, the, what are they, Leucomellas? Oh, there's the other one. They're Leucomellas, and they're a bumblebee Leucomella, I think. I don't know enough about the Leucomellas varieties, but they are darn little cute little guys. I did pull out the big tree that was in the middle. It was kind of getting a little too big. And everything else seems to be growing pretty good. Orchids are growing, which is always good news. And every other plant in there. It's a pretty cool little tank, though. I liked when I had it upstairs, but now that it has frogs in here, I'm glad it's down here. Keep the temperatures pretty perfect. But Tortellini, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. You come out to be on camera. How's it going, buddy? As you can see, he's growing bigger. His face is always dirty because he loves eating, always eating. But he is getting pretty big. He's not as scared of people anymore, which is really good. But he loves eating. He hasn't touched much of that yet. Oh well. But he is an African spur-thighed tortoise, before I forget to tell you guys. He's going to get huge, probably. And, yeah, he might be running around the floor in this place eventually, or have his own outbuilding. We'll jump up to the tank up here where we have Circe. Let's see if I can get some light to shine through. She is a pinstripe ball python. And, there's her butt. Kinda. There's too much light to really show her off, and she likes being in the dark, don't you, girl? She is a big female. She's probably about 3 feet long, but you've seen her in other videos, so I'll move down. And here is our Khaleesi. She is not liking the sand scenario very much. She's not a very sandy lady. She doesn't like touching it. So she also doesn't like pooping on it. Yeah, sorry about the big poop. Ugh. So those for you wanting to get bearded dragons, that's kind of what you have to deal with. And them knocking their food everywhere. Which I should probably pick up because I don't want her eating too much sand, or preferably no sand at all. I don't want to cause impaction. This is Vita sand or kelp sand, I can't remember which one it is. We're just trying it out for her. I don't think we're going to go this route for the future. It might look like it's easier to clean up, but it's really just makes a bigger mess. But we'll jump down to Alfredo, who is the beautiful white albino. Is his head gonna pop out there? He's another ball python. He's potentially. Oop, his head's sticking out. Hey, buddy. It's feeding day, so he knows. He knows something's up. He knows. Well, I'll feed you here soon. We'll finish the reptile room, and I'll get you some food. We'll move on over. We got crickets and worms, and then over to one of the newest tanks in the room. As you can see, just in a couple days, I'm already starting to get more algae, which is normal, so I'm not really worried about it. I gotta adjust the lighting on this, I think. It's hard to see, but I'm getting some more coral here soon. I moved all the zoas up. They're doing way better, higher and closer to the light, which is kind of cool. I got mushroom corals, acans, and more zoas. It's going to be a primarily softy tank. This is a 20-gallon system. It's like a 30-gallon system, 20-gallon high tank with a 15-gallon sump that holds probably about 10 gallons of water with some. I gotta bring my light back down. Just cleaned it out yesterday, so it's looking pretty good and clean, except for the algae, which there's not much. It's so hard to see. There's not much nutrients in this water, so I don't know what the algae's. It could be. Seeing the bubbles is probably diatom. So I'll probably have a little diatom bloom here, and all new tanks get it, especially after finally getting a light. Nothing much I can do besides reduce the silicates and more water changes, and that's about it. But this has been the reptile room tour. Stuff's changing a little bit. What are you doing? Stuff's changing a little bit, and it's going pretty good. Hopefully I can fill this wall with something. If I could get the color up. Focus this wall with something. Get this wall with something else. And maybe, I got a lot of reworking to do. I don't really like the layout yet. But it is coming along. We'll just do a quick walk around and we'll call it a day. And that's why I do the walk around. He's out and about. There, I finally got him on camera eating. That's so cute. Are you still down there? Oh. Where's your buddy? I want to show the camera. Hold on. Well, I'm Drew, I'm that frog guy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.